Hey, Joe here with the hearing aid helper. I'm going to do a quick little video. I'm going to try to show you how this works, okay? So the hearing aid helper, it's an insertion tool, but it's also a stand where you can clean your domes and change your wax traps and keep your hands free. Now, I worked for a hearing aid specialist for quite a long time. I've seen hundreds of patients, and part of my job was after the hearing aids were dispensed, I would go in a room with them and I'd go through a whole checklist of things that they need to know about their hearing aids. And one of the things where I would normally spend an hour on the whole checklist, but one of the things should take about 5 or 10 minutes, and that's just explaining how to put the hearing aids on and off. But for some reason, that would always end up taking 45 minutes. And a lot of times the customers would still leave not happy with the results, okay? I would leave them saying, you need to go home and practice. You do. Some people, they take the hearing aids very simply. They stick them in their ear. Great, good to go. Some people struggle. I wear hearing aids. I'm one of the people that struggle because the receivers, they have like a little tiny piece on the back of the receiver, and if you got little fat fingers like I do, sometimes it just doesn't go in that easy, okay? So after seeing hundreds and hundreds of patients struggle, some would even come back during normally get a 30-day or 45-day trial period. Some people would come back after a week or two and go, listen, I'm done. I still can't hear, but I can't get them in my ears, so I quit. So I decided to do a little research and come up with a tool. Now, I have seen a couple of tools out there on the market that were similar, just a tool itself without the stand. I ordered those tools. I wanted to see how they work, what they were like, and they don't work. They haven't worked for me. They haven't worked, and I have access to maybe 20 of the major brands. They just don't work. So I took a lot of time, a lot of effort. Got a lot of people involved to make this tool. Now, if you look down here, we bring the camera down here, you'll see normally when you go to the audiologist, hearing aid specialist, ENT, a lot of times they'll show you what they call good, better, and best. So the first pair here we'll say is good. That's like the insurance brand, what they normally give you. Then you have better, we have the Oticon. And now lately we're saying best is the Phonak Spear with the AI. They're absolutely amazing. But as you can see, the tool is the same and they all fit in there. They all fit. So we're going to do a couple things. I'm going to show you how to use it as an insertion tool the proper way, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you how to clean them. Actually, you know what? We're going to do it all in one video, all right? It may not be a great video, but I want you to get the gist of it, and I want you to really understand what goes on here. So the biggest problem that I've seen with hundreds of patients, they come back after a week or so, and they're always saying, my hearing aids don't work, my hearing aids don't work. And I say, well, do you clean them every day? And of course they don't. They're loaded with wax. They get a little wax in the wax traps. They just shut down. So that's number one. Number two, I could see from across the room they're not in correctly, because the receiver wire, when it's in your ear canal, should be pretty tight, pretty snug up against your ear. And when I see that big loop, I could tell already they're not in the ear canal, because it wouldn't have that loop. So that means they're wearing them more like earbuds. They're not meant to be more like earbuds. Earbuds means they're just sitting in the ear. Yes, they could hear something because there's a speaker there, but you get air, A-I-R, in your E-A-R. And what that does, it causes feedback, just like if a musician took his microphone, he got too close to the speaker, so they hear that whistling noise. Sometimes they say they hear a crunching noise or a crackling noise. You'll get a lot of different noises if it's not in your canal properly. So I'm going to go through this with you one at a time. So we're going to start with the cleaning, all right? I already have the hearing aids sitting in the hearing aid helper. These little white things, they're the posts. Those are the tools. We call them the insertion tools. And the base is basically the cleaning stand. What that's good for is as we get older, sometimes we lose our dexterity And when you lose your dexterity, you don't have the, in your hands anymore, where I could probably do it. I take them, hold them in my hand, wipe them down. It's very difficult for a lot of people, so we have the stand, all right? So I'm going to show you, here's the Phonak right here. They're in the stand, and what we're going to do is we're going to take one of these Curad alcohol wipes, and let me put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. We're going to open up the wipe, and basically, so you're going to see where the dome, the receiver, is inside the tool, and there's a little slit in the tool, and that's where the wire, the receiver wire goes. And if you kind of grab the wire, you can steady everything, and you just want to get a little wipe just right on the top. Wipe that one, wipe this one, you're done. That's the whole thing right there. Wow, no big deal, right? Now, if you do get wax in there, let's get the camera back on here. If you do get wax in that dome, it's going to go down into the dome. It's going to go into the wax trap. Once it gets into that wax trap, you're done. They're just going to shut down. That's when people come in a week later and tell me, hey, my hearing aids aren't working. So what you're going to need to do is hold on to the wire with your thumb and your forefinger. You're going to grab the tool, the wire, and you got to peel this little dome right off like this here. Okay, sometimes they don't come off that easy. Sometimes they do. Now you're going to see there's that little donut looking, that little white looking thing in there. So you're going to grab a wax trap. They normally give you a couple of packs of these. The wax traps, this is for an Oticon. It looks a little bit different, but basically they do the same thing. So we got this little black wax trap here, okay? On one end, there's nothing there. It's just like a little pin. And you're going to take that little pin and you're going to insert it in the hole here. It looks like a little white donut. You're going to try to get it in that hole. Press straight down on it, and when you press down, when you lift up, it should come right out like that did, okay? You see now the hole, it has no white thing in it anymore. On the other side of the wax trap is a brand new trap. You're going to stick that in the hole, press down. Now you just replaced it. Great job. Take the dome, put the dome back on, and make sure when you get that dome on, you kind of want to feel it like snapping on. You don't want to lose that in your ear, because if you lose that in your ear, we're going to have to come pick it out with some tweezers, or you may end up in the urgent care, or you might have to go to an ENT to get it removed, okay? So now I just showed you how to clean it, and I showed you how to change the wax trap. It's the same for all of them, so we don't have to do all of them. Now I'm going to show you how to use the insertion tool. The insertion tool, when I put it in, I'm going to put it in about a second. And it's going to look so easy. You're going to go, wow, that's amazing. Now, you may buy one of these, get it home, and it's not going to work amazing for you, because if you don't do it the proper way, this also needs a little bit of practice, and there is a proper way. So I'm going to have the camera zoom in a little bit here. I want you to see where the receiver is going right here. You can see that little line there, right? So we have that little slice in the tool. So basically, I'm going to pull it out now, have the camera follow me, not stay on here, have the camera follow me a little bit. So basically, all you have to do is have that little white line parallel with your ear, and then when you push it in, that's it. You're good to go. As long as it's right there, now when you pull it out, it's going to stay in your ear, and all you have to do is lift up the hearing aid now, and she'll sit right in there. You're good to go. Take a look at my ear. All done, right? I mean, I could have did that in about 5 seconds, but I wanted you to see the proper way to do it. So one more time, you just make sure that the receiver wire is going through it can only fit one way. It only fits that way. You have a right and you have a left. You know already, if you're wearing hearing aids, red is always right, blue is left. So we have that on the right side. This one goes on the left side. Now, just to show you like in real time that it doesn't really take that long to put in, I'm just going to take this one out of the holder for you. Okay, we'll pull it right out of the holder, and we'll have the camera follow me. All right, grab this one out of the holder. Here we go. And you bring it up to your ear, push it in. That's it. It's in. You put it over your ear. You're done. Look. Took what? A couple seconds? The other way is just so much harder. Now, it works on all of them. There's the Phonak, which it's probably one of the most popular ones on the market. But then also you have Oticon. Oticon is a really, really, really good pair. And it works the same way. Pull it out, Bring it up to your ear. Push it in your ear like that. You're done. Man, that was quick, right? Here, we'll do the other side now. Same thing. Have that wire lined up parallel to your ear. Bring it up to your ear. Insert. That's it. Pull it out. Put the hearing aid part on top. You're good to go. It works on them all. And then, last but not least, this is the cheapest pair here. I don't really like using that term. It's the cheapest pair here, but it's the least expensive pair. And this one, you may notice the domes are a little bit different. This is what they call a power dome. So a lot of people have power domes. Now the difference would be with these domes here, with this type of dome right here, this goes deep into the canal and that'll block out all the ambient noise. I'm over here. It'll block out all the ambient noise. You don't want to hear all that background noise, right? You want that in your canal. Now, the ones with the power domes look like this. It has like a little mushroom shape on it. Now, ordinarily, when you put those in, you don't get everything in. Just the tip will go in. The mushroom piece, the tail that's hanging off there, you normally always see that. You can always see that in the ear because it's sticking out. And all that does, it blocks out, again, some of the background noise. So you don't get all that ambient noise going into your ear. You don't want to hear all those other sounds. The only thing you want to hear is what's actually coming out of the speaker. But I have noticed when I use it with the hearing aid helper, with the tool, it does go in much deeper. It actually goes in a lot better. It's crazy. I've never actually seen them go in this well. And this is awesome. I mean, take a look at that. I mean, that's really in there. Normally, people that wear these power domes, you always see that little piece sticking out. You don't see it with these. It's a great little product. It does take a little practice, but once you get it down, I'm telling you, man, I can't live without it. Like I said, there's some people, they grab them, they pop them right in, great. If you're struggling with it, if you have a little dexterity problem, you're going to love this. Get yourself a pair of these. It's called the Hearing Aid Helper, and it definitely does help. So good luck. Get yourself some, and we'll see you in the next video.